Joining us now in the studio with more on the drought is Jim Robb, director of the Livestock Marketing Information Center. Jim, we've heard a lot about the drought this winter throughout California, but recently they've received some rain. What is your perspective on what the moisture picture looks like, and more importantly, what does it mean for the market?
Well, most recently, the rains have probably been most beneficial to the states north and surrounding California. California's in a Mediterranean climate, so they depend on that winter rain in December, January, February. These rains have come a little bit late, but they'll be beneficial somewhat to the state. Always in California, in those droughts, the cow-calf sector and the stockers are the first impacted because they're dependent on those coastal and foothill grazing lands. And then it sort of evolves into water availability, reservoirs. We get in later in the year, and we're going to have some crop issues, irrigated pasture issues, et cetera, especially in California. We've already seen placements increase in feedlots in the U.S. because of the drought in California. I think we saw that especially in the January data.
Very good. And in terms of weather-related issues, California is not the only state that has had some challenges this winter. Tell us how that's impacted the market across the United States.
Well, I think in the cattle feeding sector, we've had some difficulties with the very cold weather, some areas just feeding cattle. In cow-calf country across the U.S., we've fed a lot of hay this year. Very cold weather, so we really depleted our hay stocks, which were rather tight going into this year. And then importantly, in the southern plains, we've had that additional hay feeding. We had our small grain pastures, the wheat pastures, really turn off very early, really in January. Those pastures didn't get well established, and then we got the very cold temperatures, so those cattle also have already been placed into feedlots. So the weather has had some major impacts.
Well, I'm interested in following up on the point you made relative to feed. So what are your projections in terms of hay and feed costs moving forward? And also, what are your projections relative to the cattle markets as we move into the spring?
Well, I think especially on the hay market side, the California dairies and the California situation will be a big pull. California has about 1.8 million head of dairy cows, largest in the United States. Dairy is rather profitable, and the cow-calf sector. So we'll see hay moving this year, probably from as far east as maybe Kansas, all the way to pulled into the California marketplace. So the hay market could be very sensitive, very volatile, and there's going to be a lot of demand to move hay around the country. Prices are going to reflect that. Then in terms of, the overall market impacts, we placed cattle earlier, so they're going to move through the feedlots a little differently. But I think longer-term context is many of these cows in California will find a home in other states. They really won't be liquidated. But it may be a bit of a headwind depending on how this drought develops in terms of the overall pace that the U.S. cow herd, so we're starting to rebuild the cow herd, might have a little bit of a headwind due to the drought out west.
And as you think about the consumer implications of this, consumers have faced some challenges given the overall market environment. Tell us more about your perspective relative to consumer markets.
Consumer markets have also been impacted by the weather. We've had a really cold, in fact, almost a record cold winter from Chicago down to Atlanta up the eastern coast of the U.S. So we've seen the consumer, in fact, the economic debate really in the overall economy is how much has the weather really dampened the U.S. economy growth-wise, or was some of this economic slowdown really related to bigger problems? We think it's mostly been related to the weather. If that's the case, then as we get into better weather, we should have maybe some improvement in the consumer demand profile. That will hopefully spell over into the beef complex.
Well, I want you to take a look into your longer-term crystal ball and tell us what do you see in the future as for both the beef market as well as the marketplace in general?
Well, I think, again, is the economy, the U.S. economy is the key. As we look kind of in the global business cycle, the last business cycle, some of these developing countries led the way, China, Brazil. The U.S. is leading this business cycle. So as the U.S. economy goes, it's going to be impacting the beef market. But also, importantly, we need to look sort of around the world. Australia's had a major drought, too. And they may be coming out of that. They've had 2 years of herd liquidation. Maybe we'll have a little bit less competition overseas from Australia and a little bit less competition because those compete with cow beef in the U.S. market. We're watching Mexico really closely, too, from a demand perspective. U.S. economy grows, maybe the Mexican economy will grow, and that'll help our beef exports to Mexico. So the weather and the economic growth rates, I think, are sort of intertwined at this point in time. I think longer term, though, the rate of growth of the U.S. economy is going to be the key to the demand side in the beef complex.
Very good. Well, thank you again for your perspective. We really appreciate it.
It's been my pleasure.
Remember, there are ways to get help. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is one government agency working with producers to address the current West Coast drought. For more information, visit the website usda.gov/drought. There you'll find detailed information on how to receive assistance.